What's up, folks? Video that I'm going to do today is basically just going to be a modification overview of all the things I've done so far to the car. Had this video for a couple reasons. One, I get a lot of questions about it and I wanted to do one video that compiles them all together, and two, kind of like a record for my own insight to be able to look back and see how the car progressed. The first one I want to talk about is outside exterior modifications, and this one's meant the way you can't see it, but I've got a clear bra on this car and it covers all the forward facing areas or surfaces of the car. You can see there's a seam right here that goes up, so you can actually see that it does indeed have a clear bra. But this thing is a self-healing clear bra from Suntech, and it does a fantastic job. You can scrub the heck out of it and not worry about damaging your paint, so the bugs come off a little bit easier on it as far as you're scrubbing and stuff and not having to worry about damaging anything. And it's also self-healing and protects against rock chips. So on my 2016, I didn't get a clear bra. I just got the coating done, a crystal serum coating. And the first week that I drove the car after that, I got a rock chip right here above the headlight, and then another one over here on that 2016. So that was the first thing I did to this car before I started driving it any, was get this clear bra. Next thing I'm gonna talk about is gonna be the side markers. I got these side markers paint matched to match the paint color on the rest of the car. I think they did a really good job on paint matching. I did leave the bulbs unplugged because I really don't have a good use for them. They don't trip about these marker lights here in Alabama. I don't really know where any cop will be bored enough to really mess around with somebody about marker lights, but they don't do it here. And while we're talking about the four corners, that brings us on to the next thing, which is going to be these ZL1 add-on rock guards. I have had a few people that have had some trouble out of these rock guards, but I really hadn't had any issues with mine. They fit well, they do the job. This car's filthy. I've been driving it in the rain. These rock guards are doing great. I hear rocks and stuff dinging off of them all the time. It makes me pretty happy that I got them, because that means that those rocks aren't dinging off the side of my car. All right, so while we're here at the front, we'll talk about the next thing. I've got a video on some of these, on most of these things, and that's the debadging. I took the Hemi off from down here. Just looked like it was too busy on the fender of the car to have multiple badges. I think it looks much better with just that 392 there. I don't like it black. I'm gonna leave it red. I know I had a bunch of folks ask me, am I gonna make it black or blend it with the same color of the car? No, I like it just the way that it is. Along with the debadging, get ready for this. It's filthy back here. Also, of course, took the Dodge off. I'm gonna leave the RT on this one, just to, you know, because it doesn't really matter to me. I don't really care that much about branding. I consider this thing an SRT vehicle, really, and I know that's gonna piss some folks off, but whatever. I may come back and take this Charger off, or I may just leave it, I don't know. Now that we're at the back of the car, you can see I did the light smoke anchor room tail light tint. I went with light smoke because I don't like it to be real dark, and I didn't want to affect the light output. I know a lot of people say that you can still see fine with the dark smoke, but I just didn't want the dark smoke on this car. All right, the last modification that I have on the exterior, and I don't know, some people may consider this interior because that's, you know, it goes on the inside of the window, would be this ceramic window tint. And I did go with ceramic tint, and it cuts down, I think it was 75 or 78% of the UV rays and heat rejection. So you can't really feel the heat of the sun on your arm or body when the sun's out with this tint, like you could with a regular tint. And that's one of the things about ceramic that made me want to spend the extra money to get it and get it put on the car. And Tint One Birmingham is the one that did this. Shane's a great guy, and he does fantastic work. It's not easy for me not to find a flaw in the work that somebody does, and this stuff is just pretty perfect. Right, on to the interior of the car here. I got these Srt Powered decals here. I got these from a guy on eBay, and I'll try to throw the links in the description of this video for all or most of these things that I have here. This is just when my feet come across this right here. This is to keep me from damaging the paint of the car. Plus, I think it looks cool as shit. The quality of the badge, or the sticker rather, and how easy it was to put on and how it's lasting. It looks great and it functions well. I couldn't be happier with it. All right, on the inside of the car, I went with all diode dynamics LEDs in the mount lights here, in the lights in the back there, even in my glove box. And the LEDs really brighten up the interior of the car at night. Makes it much easier to see everything. It's a clear, wider, brighter light. I think those are the 6000K is what I got for everything in the car here. Moving on, the red Srt Push-Button. I went ahead and bought this. I really didn't like the look of any sticker. I didn't want to just slap something on there. Yeah, it was kind of a pain to get the dash out, but to me personally, it was still kind of worth it to have the red push button start. And if I ever wanted to, you know, go back to the regular push button, you know, if I want to sell a car or something, it ain't that difficult to take this stuff out. It just has pop clips all around the top, and I got a video on that as well. Next is the Srt Paddles here. I really like the way these things function and look. When you're in the car and you're driving, these are a lot easier to hit with your fingers. Even if you're up here, you can hit it just like this, when the old ones barely come up over the top of the steering wheel here. And I have a video, of course, on taking these and replacing these without taking the steering wheel off, because you can do it pretty easily with the steering wheel on and the airbag still in place. You don't have to take any of this crap apart. You can just change the magnesium paddle itself, and it's much easier. The last thing here is going to be the Taser, and this is on my must-have mod list for certain for this car. Just the functions that this adds to the car, where you've got these different modes. Now this is a 2018, it's a little bit different than what my 2016 had, but this gives you valet mode, eco mode, which I use more than what most people probably use it. You get the race option, launch control, and the shift light and all that good stuff. For some reason my shift light's not staying enabled. And you also get your track mode, sport mode, and a custom mode that you can put on. Now, on the newer firmware for the Taser, and I don't know exactly what firmware this changed on, but you can program these buttons in the car to do different things. So one of the gripes that I had in my 2016 is that it disabled the sport button when you put the SRT modes on, and that actually doesn't do that anymore. You can, well, it does it, but you can program the button back to sport. So there's directions in with the user functions on how to do the different functions of the Taser, and it shows you how to reprogram these buttons. So if you'll look, I'll press the sport button and it goes into sport, and whenever you turn sport off, it goes back into your auto mode there. So you could have eco mode on and be driving and, you know, have to leave a light hard or whatever to get out in front of somebody in traffic, and you can hit sport and do that, and then when you hit sport button again, it goes right back into your eco mode. So that's some things that it really opens up. All right, so it also changes the splash screen here, the way all this looks. The only gripe that I have about that, and which is this way on all SRT vehicles, the temperature pretty much rides on the next notch here above where the line is. So it never really goes to the middle hardly ever, unless it's been there once or twice when I was sitting in traffic. But other than that, the normal operating temperature is just a little bit higher than where it is now on that line. And just looking at the gauge here while you're driving, you see it down there and you think, you know, that your engine isn't warmed up, when in reality it is. And that's just that's just a personal thing for me because I'm so used to a temperature gauge riding in the middle for operating temperature. I'm not used to it being down below the middle. But that's really, you know, the only gripe that I have. Another thing it adds is some of the performance options. Let's see if we can get to them here. All right, I believe some of these performance option things are SRT specific stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But anyway, I keep mine on fuel economy anyhow. I really don't mess with most of that stuff. So anyway, that is just about all the modifications that I've done. I'm gonna go under the hood and go over the last couple ones, and then I'll be done. All right, we're here under the hood of this monster, and you see the red, that's a lint from my towel there, the red SRT stickers. For all of you that was asking that subscribe to the channel, are they gonna last? Well, they're lasting pretty good. They still look pretty perfect in my opinion. And the next and last thing, all right, and the next and last thing will be the UPR catch can. Now this is the catch can that come on my 2017 Mustang, or didn't come on, I ordered for my 2017 Mustang, but I actually had the bracket for my 16 Scat, and I put it on this car right here, and it's working perfectly. I have a couple videos where I've trained this thing too. So anyhow, that's all the mods that I've done to my 2018 Scatpack Charger, all in one video for everybody to look at, and you know, compiled all together. If you got any questions, if you got any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. Remember to subscribe to my channel. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'm trying to get together and put some more videos out and get some things going. I've got a few life things been getting in the way. My dad was in the hospital for a couple weeks, and you know, he's just now getting back home, and I've got work things going on. So anyway, I'm trying for you guys to keep on making videos and getting mods coming, and I'm still making decisions on a few mods. So thanks everybody that's bearing with me. Thanks everybody that's continuing to watch, and thanks to all my subscribers.